Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me about the lovely Geminis as we get close to the new year and the holiday season. What's going on? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in late December. Please and thank you, my guides. What's happening? Talk to me about my friends. Okay. All right. Interesting. Now, this card could be very playful, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a warning attached to it, especially whenever you see someone that's a puppeteer pulling the strings, right? So there's a lot of complexity to this card, and I feel like it's either really, really good or it could be a bit of a warning. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So, aesthetically, it's pretty interesting, right? We see that jester figure playing with the puppets, pulling the strings. And to me, this could be either really good or rough, like I was already explaining. In the positive, this card could represent somebody that's having fun. So for a lot of Geminis in this time, maybe you're having a blast, enjoying doing something, or a spirit's asking you to go have some fun, however that applies to you, right? Fun is different depending on the person, right? Some people enjoy staying in, some people want to go out, some people enjoy time in nature. It could be any of those things. However, whenever we have a card depicting a person pulling the strings, like this could represent a little warning about authority figures. It could represent things going on behind the scenes. So there could be something that spirit wants you to pay extra attention to, right? Like there might be more going on behind the curtain than you think. There might be somebody pulling the strings. This is also a card that could represent control as well. So for a portion of you, maybe there is a certain situation you're trying to get a hold over, or you're trying to enforce your control. It could be any of those things. You just take it how it hits for you. We're going to get into tarot now. Okay, and as I always say, that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. So let's shuffle it up one time. And while we get this deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. It was pretty positive. And I will say this, Gemini, for a few weeks, there's been some bumps in the road in regards to the energy for your readings, but last week it looked like it was about to take a turn to the positive. Your reading was titled A Big Offer. So for a lot of you, if you didn't receive an offer of some kind, that could still elapse in the coming days and weeks. You could still receive those offers, but it seemed like the energy was about to turn the corner. So we'll see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards, start to build this story out for you, Gemini. What we got, my guys? Talk to me. Let's get 3 cards for the Geminis. Late December, please. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we're back to this fire-air combination, huh? We have the 3 of Swords in position number 1. Okay, we're going to have to talk about this for sure. I'm sure a lot of you recognize that card. We have the 7 of Wands, so our little fire-air mixture. That's something that's been showing up for you a lot in recent weeks. Let's get you 1 more here. Now, that could be good. This could be very healing. And the 7 of Wands next to the 3 of Swords. Could be somebody dealing with something a little unpleasant, but they're going to keep it moving. Okay. A possible win in the end here with the 6 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay. All right. That feels a lot better to me. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So initially, we're looking intriguing here because we have this little bit of a struggle here in the middle, but we have tough energy and a really victorious one. Fire-air combination, right? Wands equal fire. That's motivation. That's passion. It could be a little unpredictable. And air, that's an element you're very comfortable in. It's very cerebral. It's very communicative. So when you mix the fire and air, it could be unpredictable, but it might be in a very good way, depending. So let's go through piece by piece, because like we have a little bit of a yin-yang happening here in your energy this week. A little bit of everything But position number one, and like I always say, this could be multiple things. It could be one thing. It all really depends. But position number one, we have the Three of Swords. As I always say, this is a very iconic card. We've seen the image 1,000 times, right? People put it on shorts and shirts and pants and posters and keychains. And it looks really cool, but the message behind it could be a little bit of pain, right? The Three of Swords, the three swords cutting through the heart. So we could think of things very minor, like sometimes this could be a little gloominess, a little annoyed, like some of you might have your feathers ruffled a little bit. There could be something that's just a little annoying to you, but it could range all the way up to someone being very hurt, heartbroken, anxiety, nervousness, all that stuff. So it's a spectrum. I always say with all energies, it's on a spectrum of how serious or minor it could be. Now, every card has positive and negative, and with the way the energy is flowing here, and I did say it earlier, it felt to me like you might be turning a corner in regards to energy where it's been rough for a little bit, but it might be leading somewhere very positive. So the fact that we're starting with the Three of Swords isn't a cause for concern for me at the very least. So we'll see what's up with that. And remember, that could be how someone you're connected to is feeling, right? Going through something difficult, a problem or a situation. Moving to the center, we have the Seven of Wands. Now, this card is very dualistic because it can be extremely good, but at the same time, it could be a little troubling when we look at it. Now, when I see this card, you see the person that looks like they're standing up on a wall, fighting off all these other people. So, of course, this energy could sometimes feel a little trapped, feel a little cornered, like, hey, what am I going to do here? Like, my back's against the wall. So it's an imprisoned type of energy. I always say, like, if you're feeling a little cabin fever or you're feeling like the world, like the weight of the world's on your shoulders, maybe you need to go out and have a little bit of fun, like we spoke about a little earlier. But the Seven of Wands could be very good. Yes, it could be conflicted. Yes, it could be someone feeling trapped, but at the same time, it's somebody fighting the good fight. Somebody who's not going to stop. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep pushing. It doesn't matter what tests, trials, tribulations, conflicts you put in front of them. This person is going to be determined to see something through. So I like it, especially with the way the energy is flowing here. And we'll get to that in a moment when we get to the Six of Wands, because it seems to me like somebody's really going to turn the ship around here. So for a lot of you, there could be big improvements. At the same time, though, when we have Seven of Wands energy, this could represent somebody who is a little aggressive. So that is something we'll pay attention to as we move through. It's not an uncommon card. It shows up quite a bit. Now, moving to the last card, we have the Six of Wands, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. As with all of them, yes, it has positives, but at the same time, it could be challenging. When I see the Six of Wands, you see the person that looks like they're in a parade. They have the laurels out. They're being celebrated. So yes, this is a card of victory, triumph, wins, all those beautiful things coming out on top. We're seeing something through. And when we look at the way the energy's flowing, it's like it's rough, fighting the good fight into this. I would say this is a very good result. So for a lot of you, like something really might pay off for you in a very good way. This is a card of public notoriety. This is a card of getting the attention you deserve, getting kudos for the good things that you've done. Recognition is a big thing with this card as well. So if you put in a lot of work or whatever it might be, it's gaining recognition for the good things you've done. I won't say downside, but the challenge of this card, sometimes it could represent an individual in your life that is a little egotistical, right? Someone who always walks around like this, whether they deserve it or whether they don't. So if you're connected to an individual that has an inflated ego of some kind, they think they could walk on water, this is a card that could represent them. Or it's a warning about ego as well. But I don't want to turn a positive into a challenge just yet, because we have a lot of digging to do. So we're going to place the Six of Wands right there. I want to dive deeper, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. See what's happening. Guides and spirit team, talk to me about these lovely Geminis. What's going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Three of Swords here? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Three of Swords time. What's happening? What's going on with my friends? Who's in the feelings? Who's in their feelers? Okay, yeah, the deck is being a little specific for you. Okay. Yeah, and this is the result of somebody else's actions, choices, and decisions. I don't feel like this isn't someone who says like, you know what, I want to make the choice to not feel good today. So for some of you, you may have been dealing or are still dealing with the aftermath or after effects of somebody else's choices, decisions, and actions when I have judgment underneath this Three of Swords. For a portion of you, yeah, maybe someone made the wrong choice, wrong call. I do feel like this could possibly represent somebody making a mistake. Okay, so just keep that in mind. When we see judgment, it's a Plutonian energy. It's a change-based type of energy. It's also karmic. But when I see it, I think of explosive change and action, similar to the fire-air combo we have going on here. So we still have this explosive energy in the mix. But the main thing I'm feeling here intuitively is like you possibly having to deal with the fallout of somebody else's crappy choices or decisions, and someone possibly making a big mistake. It just feels like that here on the front end. Because when I see judgment, it's like, all right, they made a choice, they made a decision, this is the fallout. I feel like it's very, very simple. Okay, so whether this is something that's just happened, whether it's something that's going to happen, somebody's actions, somebody's deeds have affected you in a way, and there's really not much you could do about it. Okay, that's like the main vibe I'm picking up off this thing, right? Now, I do know, yeah, there's always a time and a place where, yeah, I could have did this different. I could have done that different. Don't get caught up in that way of thinking in this time where it's like, all right, well, what could I have done to avoid this? Sometimes there's nothing you could do to avoid it. But to me, this is somebody else's actions affecting you. So if everything else I just said did not hit, just know that there could be someone around you that makes a move, makes an action. Maybe it's a little unpredictable, but their actions are affecting you or will affect you in one way or another. And to me, it does feel like someone messed up, like someone made a mistake here in the front end, like they did something without thinking it through. So let's keep moving. I don't want to get stuck here too much. It is what it is, right? Like I said, we can't control everyone else's actions, but let's see what's up with that Seven of Wands. What is that Seven of Wands? Oh, all right, that came out super quick. Hey, we got the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard, holding a goblet, having himself a holiday drink of eggnog, chilling right there underneath the Seven of Wands. You might be connected to a water sign when we have the King of Cups here. This is the controller of the cup suit, right? So it does represent having a deep emotional tie, deep love with somebody, lots of care. But whenever I see the King of Cups, to me, it's a card that's in control of its emotions. So I feel a lot of you Geminis in this time, either you're doing a lot of work on yourself or Spirit is asking you to do so, right? Okay, realizing that you may have more control in how you feel about things than you realize. This King of Cups is, yes, very loving, but emotional, and although it's surrounded by all this volatility, it feels good to me. It feels like somebody working to make themselves feel better. It's like, all right, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen magically. I'm going to put this work in. I'm in control of my own happiness. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here in the center. So for a lot of you, if that's not a realization you've had, maybe Spirit's trying to pass that message along. Like, listen, Gemini, you can be more in control of your happiness than you think. So let's just keep moving. I don't feel like this is bad. And of course, aside from that positive message, this could be somebody battling their emotions. So this could be an emotional battle of some sort as well, where it's like fighting against the waves, the ups and downs. And we all know that could be a trying thing. So I would say in this time, yeah, maybe there are some emotional waves you're going through, but I see you progressing in a positive way. So let's keep moving over to that Six of Wands. Yeah, there could be an emotional battle there, but I don't think it's the be all end all. Okay, so let's go in on that last card. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Six of Wands here? Lovely Geminis. Thank you. King of Wands in reverse underneath the Six of Wands. Beautiful. Now, normally when I see the King of Wands in reverse, I feel like this could be an unpredictable type of energy, and it's not always the best, but the way it's feeling to me right now, it feels very, very good, that for a lot of you, something could turn out unexpectedly good. This could be like a surprise and winner victory, or an unexpected winner victory coming in, especially like, let's say you are going through this stuff that I was mentioning earlier. You might be right here in the midst of the battle. On the back end here, it's like, all right, this is going to go way better than you think. So for a lot of Geminis, this is extremely claimable energy. Remember, the King of Wands controls actions, controls passions, controls energy. When I see it in reverse, it's uncontrollable. Like this energy is coming at you. So once again, for a lot of you, something could go way better, more surprisingly or unexpectedly than you think. This is a beautiful way to end off this reading for sure. Okay, like once you get in control of yourself and your emotions, things are going to come towards you that you can't even begin to fathom. So this is a beautiful, claimable energy. Let's go through and do a quick recap, and then we'll get into a quick shadow card for you. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, yeah, we start off a little bit dicey. We have the 3 of Swords with Judgment in the upright. We have the fire-air mixture in most of the reading. A little unpredictable and volatile, but it seems like it's going to turn out in your benefit. But in the beginning here, I feel like you suffering from somebody else's actions, or like something like you're dealing with the fallout of somebody else's actions or moves here in the beginning, and there's not really much you could do about it. There could also be someone you're connected to that might make a mistake of some sort. Moving to the center, we have the 7 of Wands with the King of Cups in the upright. Yes, somebody taking control of their own happiness, realizing that they're the boss, they control their happiness and their mood, and this is someone really working on themselves in a very positive way. I did also get a bit of an emotional battle as well, like fighting the ups and downs. On the back end, we have the 6 of Wands with the King of Wands in reverse. This energy coming at you unexpectedly of wins and victories. It's beautiful, it's claimable, and things could turn out way better than you think. So Gemini, please claim this. Take a screenshot of it. Let's get into the shadow card real quick. So let's shuffle it up one time and see what's in the shadows for the lovely Gemini collective. I really like your reading this week. So as I did say, the energy seems like it's taking a little bit of turn. So let's see what's in the shadows for Gemini. And I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see what's in there, whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. It's always a nice thing to take a look at. Doesn't always have to be a challenge though. What do we have for Gemini, please? What is in the shadows? Ace of Pentacles, options and offers coming in just like I saw last week. So even if you don't see them, even if you don't realize them. Now, before we really start breaking it down, if you got to this point of the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. Obviously, no pressure. But back into your shadow card. Ace of Pentacles, right? This is my card of golden opportunities, golden offers, and it links into what we saw for you last week. Now, as a shadow card, this Ace of Pentacles could be spirit saying like, hey, Gemini, watch your money, watch your spending, watch stuff like that. Could be drawing your attention to business things and material things. But all aces are opportunities to me, and they are beautiful. And especially since I've been seeing it in the energy for you in the past week or so, once again, these things coming out of nowhere, these things coming out of the shadows, these wins, victories, opportunities, whatever labels we want to put on it. I feel like for a lot of you, there's some really good things coming in, even if you can't see it or conceptualize it just yet. And it's giving me a nice excitement within. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is an extremely positive shadow card to get. Either keep your eyes on the money or just know that these opportunities, these golden opportunities are coming in, and it would be up to you as to whether you're going to seize it or not, right? Because if we don't seize an opportunity, that's when it could wither on the vine. But yes, Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the December subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the November subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air readings. But for December, I'll be giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. It's one of my favorite new decks out there, and it's really enjoyable to work with. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you think tarot is best used for? Is it for looking at love situations, the past, the future, energy checks? Whatever it is, you drop your answer down in the comments below. And as always, the winners will be announced at random at the end of December. My friends, as always, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.